Hey guys, Happy New Year. It is Saturday, January 2nd. I'm back in the salon, my first day of 2021 that I'm working, and I thought I would film a little vlog slash day in my life, bring you along with me into the salon, and yeah, I hope you like it and enjoy clips of me doing hair. Alright guys, so welcome to my little vlog today. This is my first client of the day. We are doing an extension move up today. We did her hand-tied extensions about maybe like 5 weeks ago, and I have my hair hand-tied extension clients come in about every 4 to 6 weeks. I usually don't let them go past 6 weeks for a move up, and so that's what we're doing here today. We're just moving up her beads to her hand-tied extensions so that they are back up to the root, because just like color, extensions grow out, and so yeah, we're just sliding them back up so they're tighter, more secure, and that way she gets probably another 4 to 6 weeks out of this move up. And then after this move up, we'll probably more than likely take out her extensions completely and then do a complete full reinstall. So yeah, you get about a couple of move ups out of your hand tied extensions, and then after that it's time to just take them all out and then reinstall them back in. So this is my same client. Her extensions are all moved up. I finished moving them up, sliding up the beads, did a check on all the threading to make sure it still looked good, and it did. It looked great. She took really good care of her extensions, so the move up was pretty simple. Took me about 30 minutes. Now I'm touching up her roots because she does have a little bit of gray, mostly like around her face frame area and a little bit up on top on the crown. But that's kind of nice because we just focus mostly on the top, because with the extensions you really don't see the back. I also went ahead and freshened up her extensions because they were a little lighter than her hair. I did not purchase these extensions for her. She purchased them somewhere else. So they were a little too light. So I usually darken the actual extension hair, and I use a semi-permanent to just kind of freshen it up. Still kind of lighter than her root, just so it gives it a little bit of dimension. But I'm just finishing it up, curling it for her, and then she will be on her way. All right, guys, on to my next client of the day. This client of mine has come in for a refresh on her color glaze. She has like 10 gray hairs on her head, but they're mostly around her face frame, and she has a couple on the back, but not a ton. So a couple years ago when she noticed them, she did not want to do a permanent color. She didn't want to do anything permanent. So I recommended us trying a color glaze, which is just a demi-permanent hair color. It doesn't permanently color her grays. After about 6 weeks, the color washes out, the grays peek out. It doesn't completely fully cover the grays. It just kind of gives them a little bit of color other than white, kind of just coats them with color. So they end up looking like a little bit of a highlight. They're like a couple shades lighter than her natural brunette hair. So they look kind of like caramely toned after the glaze is rinsed out, which looks really nice. And she likes that because, like I said, after a few weeks, it just kind of washes out. She doesn't have that band of color growing out where you can see your roots and where your old color has grown out. It just kind of washes out because it's a semi-permanent hair color. Also, these color glazes are great because they're filled with antioxidants, vitamins, and it really gives your hair a lot of shine. Even if we were to do a clear glaze, I've done clear glazes on natural brunettes before. It's beautiful. It really just pulls out a lot of like natural undertones that you maybe didn't know you had in your hair. Just, I don't know, glazes are amazing. I love them. Demi-permanent colors are a great way to kind of dip your feet into color, play with color. They won't lighten your hair, but they can natural redheads, natural blondes, natural brunettes. They're just a great way to kind of change up your hair. Like I said, we can do a clear glaze on, I've done clear glazes on brunettes, natural blondes, and it just kind of brightens your hair, gives you great shine. And for example, for my client who has a little bit of gray, it does a little bit of gray blending without that permanent color on your head. And you know, if she decides she wants to grow it out, she won't have that line of demarcation where the roots are growing out and the old hair is growing in. So I usually put this on her roots. I let it process for about 30 minutes, and then I will pull through the rest of it through to the ends, because her ends are a little bit lighter because with the sun being outside, the ends of her hair do get a little bit lighter, but we like that. We like that some of her natural highlights kind of peek through. So got her all rinsed out, blow drying her now, and then I'll just finish her up, curl her hair, and I'll see her in about 8 weeks and touch up her 10 gray hairs with the color glaze. See how pretty. I love that we leave her ends a little lighter. I don't really leave the glaze on the ends of her hair. Like I said, I just kind of run it through for a couple of minutes at the shampoo bowl. Once I'm rinsing out her roots, I'll kind of just lightly run some of the leftover glaze on the ends of her hair because I don't want to completely darken it. I want to leave some of her natural tones, and it just looks more natural. Uh, but it looks beautiful, and she loves it, and she's happy with the results. And she's a great candidate for this because, like I said, she has 10 gray hairs. So she doesn't have a ton of gray that she has to worry about. And this is just a great way for her to do gray blending and kind of camouflage that little bit of gray that she does have. And it just gives them a little bit of color. So they aren't gray or white. They're actually more like of a caramel, lighter brown color. And it looks like she's got caramel or light brown highlights running through her hair. Also, look how shiny. I love, that's one of the things I love about the glaze. It just gives a beautiful shine to the hair. On to my final client of the day. She came in and wanted a change. She still wanted it to leave some pops of blonde in her hair, but she mostly wanted to darken everything with some pops of maybe like a little bit of a caramel tone. She just wanted some dimension and wanted to darken things up, but like I said, still leave some pops of blonde. So I did leave her a little bit of a money piece in the front. I freshened up some of the highlights. I didn't have to do too much lightening on her, just because she's already so light, but there were a couple of sections that I did have to kind of retouch the blonde and bring it up a little bit more because it had been really grown out. Um, she was super, super blonde, as you could see, but we had overtoned her. So she was like a gray with, and we had done a black at the root, like a really smoky, like gradient effect from black to gray. But I hadn't seen her in a while, so it was really grown out, and she just wanted something different. So I'm just going through and alternating, mostly low lighting, like every 3 foils of low lighting, I did a highlight. You want to make sure you grab pretty thin sections, just because when you're coloring blonde, you want to make sure that you really saturate the hair so you don't get any like streaky like pieces or pieces that don't get covered very good, because then it just looks splotchy and you can still see peaks of blonde kind of peeking through. Also with my formula, I made sure to make it more of a golden base, just because, and a little bit of a chocolate. I put a little bit of a chocolate undertone, a -6 from Schwarzkopf, into my mix. I kept her a level 5 pretty much for her lowlights because she's a level 5 naturally from her root. And then, but I didn't want to keep it neutral because sometimes if you go in with a straight neutral when you're covering blonde, it can look a little muddy, and I was worried about it turning muddy, so I added a little bit of chocolate and gold and undertones to my mix. And like I said, I just kind of alternated and kind of watched I know how her hair falls, so I added dark where I would think she needed more depth, and then I added pops of light, mostly around her face, and underneath her hair. Also wanted to mention I did go back and tone some of the pieces that I left out of her old blonde. I toned them with like a more caramel toner. Ta-da! She's all done. We love the end results. She loved it. I loved it. I was so happy with how it came out. She's got depth. She's got dimension. She still has her pops of brightness. Her money piece. She didn't want anything super bold, but she did get her little money piece. And we are just so happy with how it came out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this little vlog of me doing some hair. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think and if you want me to do more videos like this.